Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of That Went Well. Thanks so much for joining me once again on this food-related journey that we've been on. I'm excited because today I have a very special episode for you as I welcome my new friends from Luna's BBQ and More for a chat to talk about the work that they're doing with their establishment. And we get to hear a lot about their story and their philosophy on food. I hope to do more of these types of interviews for you as we progress forward with the show, and I'm just really glad that we got a chance to talk to amazing folks who make amazing food. So, once you're done watching this episode, I encourage you make sure you get out there. You can order food online from them and go pick it up, and it's really convenient, but more importantly, it's really delicious. So. Let's take a listen now to my friends from Luna's BBQ and More. I'll be talking to Julie, Frank, and Irma, and their story is fantastic. Let's take a listen. So I'm here today with my special guest, as I mentioned in the introduction, from Luna's BBQ and More. I am joined by the Luna family. With us today are Julie Luna, who is the baker and tech person for Luna's BBQ. Also joining us is Pitmaster Frank Luna Jr., as well as Irma Luna, who is the chef for this group that we are going to be learning about today. Team, thank you guys so much for making time to be on That Went Well. It's an honor. Having eaten your food, I couldn't wait to do this because I love talking to folks who are doing fantastic things with food here in our city. So thank you for taking the time.
Thank you for doing this.
Absolutely. You guys sent me the story, so to speak, of Luna's BBQ. And I'll tell you, I've long lived by the philosophy that food is love. And there is definitely a sensation of family and love and that being important to you. So I wanted to start by asking you to just share with me a little bit, and for those who are watching, the story of Luna's BBQ and More. And just I'll leave it to you to share with us, how did it begin, and how did it get to this point that you are right now?
You want to do it?
Well, it's
I think we can all kind of.
As far back as I can remember, my parents have been doing this, and I know that to me, my memory is when my sister was going to get married, our oldest sister, and they catered that wedding. But my parents recently told us that it was even earlier than that they were doing the catering. So they're around for a long time.
They've always loved to cook. That's my and like the togetherness that you're talking about. They did retreats for the church, and they would cook for all those retreats. So it's always been a passion of theirs. So when they started this business, they loved it, both of them, and they instilled that in us as well. And now we love what we're doing. So like you say, love is a huge part of it. Yes.
Yeah, it's that whole faith and family kind of vibe that I get in reading your story and learning that you've created something that has the potential of being generational, which I love because your parents begin the process, you've continued it forward. As you talk through the story itself, what is it about barbecue that you decided to settle on? Why was that something that became your passion?
I keep joking with my husband that we chose the hardest food that we knew how to cook, and said, "You know what? Let's do that."
But there's a lot of, everything very well. We don't do Chinese food and seafood, but I remember one afternoon we were talking about the property and restaurant 2 years back. What are we gonna serve? And it was barbecue. At that moment, we barbecued a lot, but it's a lot of work, but we love doing it. I think our passion, our drive comes from seeing the customer's experience, and we always want it to be a good experience.
Sure, absolutely. When it comes to things like barbecue and so forth, obviously you've created your menu and you've
found the things that work best for you. What would you say went into this decision? How do you decide a menu, and what are is it things that you just feel you're really good at, or have there been challenges in terms of what to create for the menu?
Well, look at our menu, and you can kind of tell that it was a very difficult decision because our menu is so big.
Yeah.
Sure.
Considering we're a food trailer,
Yeah.
we do offer a big variety of items, and we've actually been talking about adding like hamburgers because we think it's something that, you know, is everybody would want.
I'll be there.
Might not be something that we serve, so we try to offer something for everybody.
Right.
And there's a little bit of each one of our favorites on the menu, so it was actually really hard to come up with a menu. That's why it's so big, but it comes easy to us to make all that.
Gotcha.
I mean, it's not easy work, but for us, a large menu like that, it's like, okay, well, we can do this, and this without struggling.
Right.
And
right.
It offers a variety of different customers, because not everybody likes the same thing. Not everybody likes barbecue, so we have fajitas. Not everybody likes fajitas or barbecue because it's on the grill, so we have carne guisada.
Right.
So, I mean,
and plus we're limited with the food trailer. Our kitchen is really close. We do have a commercial kitchen, and we do have a huge brick pit and also a steel pit, pretty big too.
Okay.
So. But challenges, yeah, we've taken on a lot of challenges. We did a ribeye steak for the Marines.
The Marine Corps ball. Yeah.
That was the person that, and I mean, our nerves, really, we were nervous about it. How are we going to do it? And we always rise to the challenge, you know, so we're...
Yeah. Well, and you talk about the work and so forth, and there's obviously, you know, it's like, I know in my life I've learned that when we do the things we're passionate about, it becomes less work. But there's obviously a ton of effort that goes into the work that you do. What is a typical day like for Luna's as a team? And whatever you wish to share, what is a typical day like to get you from beginning your day and then through the end of however a serving shift goes?
Well, it definitely starts before sunrise.
Yeah.
Well, on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, yeah. But you know what? It's not. Those days do not feel like work. We wake up early. We work through the whole day until 9 or 10 in the evening, and but it goes by so fast. And when the customer shows up, when they show up, that was what it was all for, all the hard work.
And we are blessed to have the commercial kitchen that we have and the pit that we have. We have several commercial refrigerators and freezers, so that helps us a lot in the food trailer, because a lot of food truck owners don't have that. So they go home and they have whatever they have on the truck, they have to plug it in and they leave it on the truck. We have extra storage space because we had the catering first.
Gotcha.
So it does help make our preparations easier.
Gotcha. When you send me the information, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Frank.
You have my mom and dad. They help also. They do the tortillas and a few other things. My son Jared, and then our neighbor, and my brother Anthony. He helps too. Nice. We have a neighbor that helps us with, the dishes and stuff like that.
She's been with us.
It's a small crew
for a long time, and she's a blessing as well. Together. Yes.
Gotcha. So it's it's obviously a family affair. So yeah, and that always makes it fun. As I look through the information you sent me, Irma, you're listed as the chef. Is it something that do you design dishes? What exactly would you say is your main responsibility for this project?
Well, yes, but just to perfect what we're serving now. I mean, I learned everything I learned from my mom. I watched her cook, when I was young, and I loved it. I don't know if it's the cooking, if it's more seeing everybody's reaction to what I just made.
Sure.
Seeing their smiles on their face, or wow, that was really good, and it makes me feel good. So it makes me want to try new things and make it even better. So I mean, that's just I just love what I do. I love
Another
what I
person I
do.
want to mention is my sister Marianne.
Yes.
I think she was a big inspiration for all of us, especially my sister. She was really, she saw big things for the catering, moving to the property in a restaurant. We just hope to carry that dream on.
And she's with
Fulfill
us.
it.
She's with us all the time.
Yeah.
I was just telling Julie that it's funny. I said, but I was washing dishes and I swear I could see my sister as I'm washing these dishes because I think of her all the time and
Yeah.
I feel her presence especially when we're working so hard. And it's a beautiful thing what we have here, and we're all very proud of it.
It was the part of the story that I'm gonna be a little bit transparent here. As I read what you sent, I'm someone who's very family focused. It was instilled in me by my parents before they left this world. And when I read your story and read about your sister, when I got to the point where I realized that her memory continues on in the work that you do, it was an emotional moment for me, and it really solidified for me a lot of what I sensed in the experience I've had and how I was introduced to you. We're mutual friends with One Punch Dough, Janine, who provides the bread for your restaurant. And it seems like I've connected with these with folks who the passion for food is firmly rooted in a family, firmly rooted in creating memories and so forth. And your story really hit me in the heart because I mean, that's what we want. I think that, as someone who's never done food professionally, but who loves to cook and loves to eat and so forth, it's really about that whole notion of, where I started, that food is love. And it really comes through in the work that you do. That being said, what has been your most satisfying experience in this journey? And what are you excited for when it comes to the future?
I have to say, when our customers eat our food and we see how much they enjoy it, that's
Okay.
the most satisfying part of our job.
Watching you in that video.
Yes.
I was gonna bring that video. Right. We watched it and I was literally crying with
Oh,
joy.
wow.
See you react like that to our food with so much emotion. And Frank and I were actually on our way to get food for the kids, and we rushed home and we're like, have you seen it yet? And she's like, no. So we put it on the TV so that my father-in-law could see it. And we were all watching it together. And I know she got emotional. I got emotional because that's why we do what we do.
Yeah.
We want our customers to just have a reaction like that, just kind of slip away from anything that is bothering them. Just
Sure.
have a moment of enjoyment of something where they can forget about everything that's wrong in their life.
Gotcha. Yeah,
Too.
that makes a lot of sense. I know. I remember very distinctly right from the start. I'll be honest with you, and I've shared this with folks who I know. When I drove up and you literally walked out my bag to me, I don't think I was parked for more than 15, 20 seconds. And I was again headed back home, given the times we live in now, the pandemic and so forth. It's, I'm going to be honest. I'm always looking forward to finding places where I can go get food and then bring it home. And just the experience from the moment of pickup, how efficient it was easy to order, the whole experience, it became, that's why I was so drawn to it, was because it was an experience that is easy for people to partake in, from the moment they order online to picking up the food to then of course enjoying it, which it was phenomenal. And you'll be seeing me soon. It's just I couldn't pass up the opportunity to talk to you and learn about Luna's. And I will share with you that so far of the 30 some odd episodes I've done, yours is now the one with the most views. So thank you, because you're helping me as well.
Also, the vision of the future too is turning that building, it's almost going to be 100 years old, into a restaurant, but keeping it small on the inside as far as seating. We want to
Sure.
put And a lot of trees, plant a lot of trees, put some
Nice.
picnic table, and the customer is the most important thing to us. I was telling my wife yesterday, we had a customer show up with, I guess it was his wife, and they didn't have a lot of money, but they chose to spend what little they had with us. They got 2 tacos and a drink, and he was telling us how good the food was, and that's why we have the specials. And if you look at our price point on our food, also it's it's very affordable. The barbecue that we serve
and competitive. We try to go below what the area barbecue around us is, so that people feel like they can come for good quality food at an affordable price. Because a lot of times people can't afford barbecue. It's an expensive meal. You don't think of it because it's not steak, but barbecue is very expensive when you go to these really popular barbecue destinations. You look at their food, and it's not an affordable meat that somebody can afford. It's almost like a steak, and that's why we want to keep our prices as low as we can. We're constantly looking at warehouses that we can get our meats from to see if we can get it cheaper, so that we can lower the prices for.
Of course, quality has to be there.
Yes.
Sure. Yeah.
The other thing is the community. We want to get back to the community too.
Beautify our community. Yes.
Yeah, we realize that we're born and raised on the south side. Me and my sister, not my wife, but
I'm an honorary Southsider. Married into the South Side
and Texas. So
yeah, that's fantastic. So the one thing I'm curious about, because so much of your time goes into your establishment, the food that you make, and so forth. When you aren't dealing in barbecue, what are some of your favorite foods? I'd like to hear from each of you. What do you choose to go towards when it comes to choosing your own food?
You're talking about us cooking our own food, or
just what do you enjoy outside of barbecue? Like if it's up to you to go have dinner or pick up dinner somewhere, what are some foods that you like?
I'd say Chinese is a big one.
Yeah. So we're foodies. We love food, and
Ding Hao, we go there.
Yeah, Ding Hao is a big family tradition.
Sherry's Texan, right here on the south side. That delicious seafood. You have to try that out. It's really
I'm gonna have to. Yeah.
Yeah.
We also have a friend who has a food trailer, Gilbert, but he's on the northwest side. So, but he's got good food.
Bandera and 410, El Chef and I.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Italian, we eat at Caparelli's on Main a lot.
Oh yeah.
And
big fan.
El Sorrentina.
I always get the name wrong of that Italian restaurant.
I think it's El Sorrentina.
Really
across from St. Mary's. They're really, really good.
I think those are our top picks right there.
Yes.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, it's when we say we're foodies, we do that. We take that time to really broaden our horizons and try different things. And it's fun to know that there's so many of us out there that even if we focus on one particular cuisine, we like that notion of trying things that are around us. And so I'm going to rely on you guys to help me know other establishments along your side of town so I can start trying them as well. So, but as we begin to wind down this time together, first of all, thank you so much. What would you say to people who ask you, I might want to do something like this? What would be some advice you'd give folks who say, "Hey, I'm so passionate about food. I want to give back and do something." What are some advice that you would give to folks who might be thinking they can't do it?
Don't give up, because it is hard. It's a struggle. I can't tell you how many times we've wanted to give up, or we've prayed saying, what are we doing wrong? Why aren't we successful in what we're doing? What's holding us back? And there's so many challenges that are put in front of us that most people will just see it and stop. And once you get over those hurdles, like just getting the trailer permitted, it took us a couple of months. And trying to get the licensing and the permits from the city, going from office to office, back and forth, most people would just say, you know what, forget it. It's not worth the time.
Yeah.
But once you get everything done, it's definitely worth it. Once you start feeling the gratification of your customers coming back over and over again, saying, we were looking for you. We're so glad we found you again because you weren't here. And the ones that say, oh, we look forward to it we don't eat barbecue at all during the week because we know you're going to be here on the weekends, and they go and it's just a humbling feeling.
You know, we also picked the
Sure.
start the trailer. I mean, going through the pandemic and all that. But what I would say is this, that you have to have a passion for it, because what I've come to realize, it's not just barbecuing. There's a whole lot of other things involved. And when you experience those other things, it takes away from the why you're really doing it, the passion of the food. What I try to do is come to peace with it and understand it's all part of what we're trying to do. And it's a much
Gotcha.
than that. I mean, you're right. It's the family. We love doing it. I mean, when we're together, we do tamaladas. We used to have huge gatherings here for the kids, birthday parties, Christmas, New Year's, Easter, every holiday, July the 4th. So, but what I would say is, if you really wanted to do it, you can do it. You have to work hard and love what you're doing.
Don't give up.
Yeah. Well, go ahead, Irma. I'm sorry.
That's it. Just don't give up. Just keep, continue, and it'll pay off.
Yeah.
You know what she was saying
Indeed.
today that she probably didn't even think to bring up is the few people that we've met have led us to meeting more and more people. Janine with One Punch Dough, we stumbled upon her on accident. The previous bakery that we were getting our bread from had to quarantine for 2 weeks because of COVID. And so I got on Facebook on one of the curbside restaurant apps and asked, does anybody know of a bakery that does this, this, and this? And she reached out to us, and we tried her bread. We're like, we love it. From her, we met you. We've stumbled across a coffee shop that now Janine is selling her bread at. Lone Star Pure is now selling her stuff there. And like little by little, we're all kind of
helping each other.
Yes, it's like a family. It's like a family of
Sergio.
It's a beautiful thing, I think.
Yeah, it's a really cool culture of people that, for all of the things we're passionate about. I mean, as much as I love cooking and so forth, my gig is, podcasts and YouTube. Everybody, each of us, for whatever reason, we've been, and I think of it as providence. I mean, we're brought together because, we all believe that God is a powerful presence in our lives. And the connections that have occurred just continue to grow. And so I'll be the first to say that it excites me to be able to now have an element of the show that's going to be about talking to folks like yourselves. And I've got several other interviews coming up. So thank you so much for all you do. I say this with all my heart. You're doing God's work, and I really I applaud you for making it a family thing and making it about love. So Julie, Irma, Frank, thank you so much. Again, I keep saying thank you because I've enjoyed our time together. Best of luck with all that you're doing and will do as Luna's Barbecue More continues. And we'll be posting on the episode itself information where people can reach you and enjoy your awesome food. So thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, again, for those of you who are watching, I've been talking to the folks from Luna's Barbecue and More. Make sure you come see them, and in just a few moments, I'll give you information on where you can find them.
I had such a great time talking to Julie, Frank, and Irma, and I can't tell you enough how wonderful their food is. So make sure you get on out there, find them online, order, go pick up, and I promise you, you won't regret it. With that, I thank you so much for joining me for this episode. I look forward to doing more of these types of interviews as time goes on. And yeah, it's been a whole lot of fun. So make sure you click subscribe on the channel and click that notification bell so you know when the episodes land, and give this episode a like if you enjoyed it, as that helps me to know what kind of content to keep producing for you. Also, make sure you make comments and all that fun stuff. Well, thank you again. I always love hearing from you, and I love that you're enjoying these videos. Go support local, and yeah, that's what we're here to do. So with that, remember, you're awesome, you're amazing, and the world's a better place because you are in it. We'll see you next time on That Went Well.